has been a little over 4 years since Blizzard finally gave us Classic WoW. And today, I wanted to talk about my overall feelings and kind of a retrospective of how things went. But the story of Classic WoW, it starts way before the re-release of Classic WoW. Ever since the Burning Crusade, there has been private servers hosted by fans to be able to still play vanilla WoW and how it was back then. Now, for the longest time, these servers weren't very popular, and I don't believe they really started getting popular until around Cataclysm, being that this is when the game really changed from what it used to be. And players, they just wanted that old feeling back of what World of Warcraft used to be. The only problem was, almost every private server back then was really bad. They were full of bugs, they got so many things wrong, tons of quests couldn't be done because there were scripting issues, they just couldn't get stuff right, and plenty of other problems. But eventually there was one private server that did things pretty right and got super popular. Now this server was called Nostalrius, and it offered the true World of Warcraft vanilla experience. Now, I remember first hearing about Nostalrius from a YouTuber named The Lazy Peon, who I watched a lot back then, and he was talking about it and how he played it and how he was having a good time, and I even checked it out myself and played for a little bit, and it was a really good server. But maybe it was too good because it got the attention of Blizzard. And in April of 2016, Nostalrius was forced to shut down by Blizzard, and a lot of people were very pissed off. And rightfully so, because Blizzard did not offer their own servers for people to play the old versions of the game, and on top of that, they had absolutely no interest in making their own servers.
Have you ever thought about adding servers for previous expansions as they were then?
No, and by the way, you don't want to do that either. You think you do, but you don't.
Again, people were not happy about this. How are you going to shut down the thing that you're not even going to offer yourself? Almost every single World of Warcraft YouTuber at the time made videos about this, bashing on Blizzard for this, and reinforcing that people wanted this kind of a server. And there was even a big petition with hundreds of thousands of signatures saying that people wanted this. And well, a little over a year and a half later, at BlizzCon in 2017, they finally announced World of Warcraft Classic. And everyone was pretty happy and pretty hyped up. And then 2 years later, on August 26, 2019, the game launched and we could finally play vanilla World of Warcraft hosted by Blizzard on an official server. So, how did it go? How was vanilla World of Warcraft? Well, if you ask me, I'd say it was pretty good. Classic WoW had a good life cycle, going through all the content throughout 6 phases. The only complaint I saw going around was about the itemization of the endgame. And for those who don't know what that means or what I'm talking about, I'll try to explain it, but I can't promise my explanation will make sense. But in original vanilla World of Warcraft, back in 2004 to 2007, a lot of the endgame items changed and were better as the new raid tiers came out. Basically, early endgame gear in the beginning was weaker, and that same piece of gear by the end of vanilla was stronger. But in World of Warcraft Classic, that gear was already the best version of it from the start, making the raids and content a lot easier. But let's also not lie to ourselves. The raids were easy. They were very, very easy. All the content in vanilla was easy mechanically. There's very few bosses with difficult mechanics that I can think of. Maybe like Cthulhu, the Four Horsemen, Kel'Thuzad, but that's pretty much it. There's not a whole lot. Like, if you can do heroic raids in retail WoW, you can do everything in Classic with one hand, honestly. But that's part of what makes Classic fun. People like that. And I think that's a lot of the reason why Classic WoW was a huge success. And as everyone expected, after we got through all the vanilla content, we got the Burning Crusade Classic. And to be honest, this is where I did start to lose hope in Classic, because right at the beginning, they introduced the first pay-to-win, the Dark Portal Pass. Now, this Dark Portal Pass, it included a new mount, never even in WoW before. It also included the Dark Portal Hearthstone from the trading card game. But worst of all, it handed out a level 58 character boost, so you could get right into the Burning Crusade content without having to play everything in vanilla. And a lot of people were upset by this too, because this kind of goes against everything that vanilla was about. People wanted Classic because they wanted to go back to where you couldn't buy player progression like you can in the current game. And this was the beginning of the end, because after the Burning Crusade Classic ran its course, they did it again with Wrath of the Lich King, adding another bundle which included a level 70 character boost And then eventually they put the nail in the coffin by adding the WoW token to Classic WoW. Now their excuse is that it was the only way to fight RMT, which is real money transaction, which pretty much means people were buying gold off illegal websites for real money, and in Blizzard's mind, the only way to combat this is, hey, if they're gonna buy gold illegally, we'll just let them buy gold straight from us. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's not ban people, we can't do that. We couldn't possibly ban people from the game. It all just baffled me that they added the WoW token, but I can't say I'm surprised. I also think it's crazy how they didn't want to add the dungeon finder, which was in Wrath of the Lich King, because they said it didn't fit the feel of Classic. But the WoW token does, huh? Make it make sense, Blizzard. But that brings us to today. How is Classic WoW? Well, if you ask me, Wrath of the Lich King is ruined, all right? It's full of botters injecting too much gold into the economy, and with GDKP running the entire raiding scene, I can only guess the prices of what things are going for. Now, I know there's probably guilds out there that are playing the game regularly, but when the entire rest of the game is being played this way, you're just going to be holding yourself back from everybody else if everybody else is just buying everything with real money. And with Icecrown Citadel coming out very soon, I don't see many players continuing over there. I feel like there's so many people just hanging on just to take down the Lich King, and then they'll be done. The place where I do see a future, though, is the Classic era servers. I haven't mentioned them yet in this video, but ever since Classic transitioned into Burning Crusade Classic, there's remained servers for the vanilla version of the game, and it seems like things have come full circle because these vanilla servers are booming. And Blizzard also recently released hardcore Classic WoW servers, which is pretty much just classic vanilla WoW, but you have one life. Once you die, there's no respawning. So it adds this extra edge to the game and gets people excited because everything's on the edge. Everything could come to an end at any moment. This was something the community was doing for months on its own with its self-imposed rules before Blizzard finally gave us the official after we begged for it for months. But the fact that they even gave us the official in the first place kind of surprised me. It shows that Blizzard is still willing to listen to the fans when enough of them want something really bad. Even hardcore aside, just the regular Classic era servers are popping off right now. People are having a blast playing through vanilla WoW again, whether it's for the first time or for the 100th time, because lots of people, myself included, believe that vanilla WoW is the best version of World of Warcraft. The game is just so good. Now, there is also the factor that this is the only version of the game that isn't flooded with microtransactions. There is server transfers, but that's it. And if you ask me, those don't count, because if server transfers didn't cost anything, people would just be doing them nonstop. And guess what? You can also transfer servers for free. You just can't transfer to every server for free. I really do believe that the future of Classic lies in vanilla, and I hope Blizzard sees it too. Like I said earlier, when it comes to Wrath of the Lich King, a lot of people, I feel like, are just holding on to take down the Lich King, and I don't think that there's going to be as much interest in Cataclysm. I think Cataclysm Classic would be a bad move, and Blizzard shouldn't do it. But I plan on making an entire video talking about why they shouldn't do Cataclysm Classic, so I'll save that rant for later. Now, Blizzard has confirmed that they will be giving us another season like they did for Season of Mastery, but it won't be called Season of Mastery. So that's another thing that they're going to be adding so that people will keep playing vanilla. But I, like many others, hope that Blizzard sees the desire for a Classic Plus, adding more content to the existing Classic era, adding more raid tiers, adding more dungeons along the way to level 60, new zones, maybe even an expansion that isn't Burning Crusade that follows the design principles of vanilla. My only fear with that is that, well, the people who made vanilla WoW aren't going to be the people who make this. Almost everybody from the original team is gone. And we've seen the things that this team has made over the years, so who knows if they could pull this off. At the end of the day, no matter what, I do think people will always come back to vanilla WoW eventually. This hardcore and just Classic era boom in general could very easily just be a hype phase and die out after some months unless Blizzard announces something big at BlizzCon. But even if we get nothing new and it does die out again, people love vanilla WoW, and they always will. And I'm sure, even if it dies now, in a couple of years, people will come back again in a flood. And hey, that's enough for me. You know, as long as I can get my fix of World of Warcraft every couple of years, that's enough. Overall, I think Classic World of Warcraft was a big success, and I'm glad we got it. It's something that gaming needed, and I'd love to hear what you guys think down below. Do you like Classic WoW? Have you never even played Classic WoW? Did you play Classic WoW for the first time and, you know, you didn't play WoW back in the day? Let me know what you thought. Let me know what you think for the future, and I'll see you guys in my next video where I'm going to talk about why they shouldn't make Cataclysm Classic. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.
Well, hey guys, it's me again. So after I recorded this, Blizzard, they made sure to let us know something very important on Twitter. They let us know that Chris Metzen is now officially the man in charge of the Warcraft universe. So yes, this is a very good thing, and it brings my hopes for Classic up even more. And hey, maybe even retail. You know, it can't be that bad, right? Anyways, see you guys later. Leave a message after the beep.